Okay, this is a stupid question. Okay, you can preface it with that. Does he know what One Piece is?
اول شيء بقول لك انه ممكن هذا السؤال يكون شوي اهبل، بس بسألك تعرف شو هو ون بيس؟ عمرك سمعت بون بيس؟
اكيد يعني منذ الطفوله وانا اشاهد ون بيس لوفي.
Is it Luffy?
Yeah, he said he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes, yes.
So with this video, I'd just like to show how political ideology breaks people's minds, and it doesn't have to do with any side, left or right. I think it's all gay, or it is to make it your personality. Knowing anything about Palestine and Israel isn't going to help you fuck that cute barista at Starbucks, and it's just going to bore your friends, so just shut up and enjoy yourself, I say, because whenever people get invested in politics, they start saying the darndest things without doing any critical thinking, because their ideology is literally rotting their brains. I mean, we have thousands of hours of political commentators on YouTube and on Twitch that can be used as an example of how psychotic and retarded people become when they start watching the news and making it their lives. Like everyone's favourite political commentator, Hasan Piker, who is so out of touch with reality, it's honestly amazing. He's been claiming for years that he's a part of the working class and uses his ideology to justify that claim because he doesn't own a corporation or some shit. Which is psychotic, as he's one of the biggest streamers ever on any platform. He's actually the complete opposite of the working class, because I know this is a crazy thing to say, but to be part of the working class, you need to actually be, working, and so someone who doesn't need to work ever again in their lifetime isn't a part of the working class. I know that's pretty wild and out there statement for his audience to comprehend, but there you go. And he has stated before that he thinks streaming is harder than a regular job, a 9-to-5 job.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome, a real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you, you know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
So not only is he a part of the working class, he's also one of the hardest working people in the working class. This dude's whole persona is so over the top and ironic that his life should honestly be a sitcom. I mean, would you rather work in McDonald's, where you make nothing and get yelled at by customers on a regular basis and just want to kill yourself, or do you want to sit at home making millions in your $3 million mansion, where your biggest life problem is that someone was mean to you on Twitter? I mean, he's a millionaire with everything, and he's still complaining about his job. Even though a good chunk of his stream is him eating and leaving for almost an entire video, giving zero commentary, which everyone is well aware of if they're familiar with Hasan. Everyone seems to have that same criticism of him. It's almost like there's some validity to that claim. But it somehow gets worse because a couple weeks ago he was interviewing prisoners who were putting out the LA fires, so people who have no freedom and were brought on at the last minute to make up for a shortage in firefighters who are back in a cell getting pounded right now. And Hasan is there acting like him and the prisoners are one and the same while wearing designer clothes and they're in jumpsuits about to put out a fire. He even tries relating to them by saying that he did some crazy shit when he was young. Like, these guys really give a fuck about what this Nepo baby was doing when he was growing up. As if they haven't seen crazy shit before.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Now you know what Twitch is. So.
But that's what everybody wants. Yeah, realism. And I think it's always the limitations of the system that cause people to not be able to achieve that in the most successful way. There is virtually nothing different between any of you guys and someone like myself, except for, like, I'm willing to bet that my beginning point is more affluent, more privileged. You know what I mean? That's it.
Definitely.
Like, I fucked up. I fucked up when I was a kid. I fucked up when I was a young adult. I mean, I got arrested. You know what I mean? Like, but the difference is I had a network to be able to rely on, to fall back to. And if that's taken from underneath you, if you don't have that support system, then some people end up falling through the cracks, you know?
If he got into any trouble like these guys, his parents would have hired good lawyers and got him out of any charge, so clearly they're not the same. I don't think these guys can even vote, yet he's still there trying to spread propaganda to them. And so he brings up this weirdo idea, which is one of the dumbest things a streamer has said, at least recently, and if it was anybody else, people would be all over this because of how insane it is. He told these currently incarcerated people that he's closer to them than he is to Elon Musk.
I try to explain to people all the time that are listening that they are closer to where you are, and I am closer to where you are than we are to a guy like Elon Musk or a billionaire or a multi-millionaire, you know, owns multiple condos, properties. Like, obviously sometimes people don't have a good starting position in life, you know what I mean? And they get lost in the system. Like, no one is like truly evil.
And it's not that the first time that he said some crazy shit like this. He also said that he's closer to a homeless person than he is to Elon Musk.
Many of you are closer to them than you are to the likes of Elon Musk, myself included. Other billionaires are closer to homelessness than they are closer to Elon Musk.
He acts like there's barely any difference between him and the poorest people in society. Hearing him say this shit in person would make you want to punch him in the face. So the fact that he didn't get punched in his tiny little head is probably the most impressive thing about this. Obviously, we know this is dumb, but this is one of those things that these political guys do once they've indoctrinated you, so you agree with them and not even really think about what they've just said, where they word something in a way that can be technically true, but they're trying to hide their real intentions or ideology. It's like trying to take statistics out of context to fit a narrative. Obviously, the problem with this is that Hasan is missing the most important point. Sure, most billionaires are technically closer to a homeless person than they are to Elon in the sense that 1 is closer to 0 than 200. The dude has like $200 billion, and 1 billion is closer to 0 than 200. Which he actually acknowledges in the clip, so I don't really get his point. Is he saying that Elon is the only problem in the world, not billionaires, because they're technically closer to being homeless as well? It sounds like he's defending them, really. You see how retarded that is? And anyone besides a millionaire influencer who doesn't understand the world knows how insane that is to say. So obviously in terms of lifestyle, like not having to work, living in a mansion, being famous, wearing designer clothes, driving sports cars, paying for $1,000 lunches for your friends, having the ability to afford a home anywhere in the world, obviously Hasan is closer to having that billionaire or Elon Musk lifestyle than he is to living on the streets. Any amenities that he doesn't have, he has access to them if he wanted. He could probably buy a private jet or a yacht if he wanted to, or take trips on them whenever he wanted. So again, he's closer to Elon than a homeless person, and that lifestyle is more important than whether someone has $1 or $0 billion. At a certain point, it doesn't really matter how many billions you have, your lifestyle is going to be similar to Elon Musk's anyway. But that's the thing, none of these guys ever think about how they're going to come off to normal people, and there's no context that makes it better. And they do this on a daily basis. This is like every commentator, Destiny, Hasan, Vosh, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, and any other retard you can think of. Even though Hasan's motto is to be normal.
This is my argument always. I always say be normal, be fucking normal, be normal, be normal, be normal, be normal.
Which is a good message, but what's normal about anything this guy does?